What do we have here? 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 What do we have here?
Well, here we are, kids. The end of the Zombies franchise. I feel like we've grown a lot together over these 6 months. When I started this series, I was a mere modest YouTube channel with only 256 subscribers. And at the time of recording this, I'm at 40,000. So as much as I hate the Zombies franchise, I can't deny it has a lot to do with my success. Also, I can't actually read the script in these. My contacts expired. So, let me just... Nice. It's kind of funny to think that I had so few subscribers when I started this series, because it's almost like I'm trading subscribers for my sanity. With Zombies 1, we learned about racism. With Zombies 2, we learned about racism and colonialism. And with Zombies 3, we will learn about racism and immigration. There is a lot of racism in this series. The viewership for this movie is ultimately inconclusive. According to Whip Media, Zombies 3 was the 4th most watched film across all platforms on July 15th, 2022, the week this movie aired. This movie was also the only one of the trilogy to originally air on Disney+. It would go on to release on the Disney Channel a month later on August 12th, 2022, so anyone too broke to pay $7.99 had to wait to watch it. But exactly how many people watched this film isn't something I was able to dig up. This movie also had pretty critical reception, but that's similar to the first two, so it's not surprising. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I don't really care, and I just want to get this over with. So just grab yourself a nice cold glass of Dr. Pepper, strawberries, and cream. Pour that on my I had a cup. God damn it. So grab yourself a nice cold glass of Dr. Pepper, strawberries, and cream, and let's get straight into the movie. It's a tall glass. Let's get straight into the movie. Oh my god, I brushed my teeth before this. Jesus Christ, this is going terribly. Zombies 3 begins with the same stylized opening you've come to know and love. Or, well, at least you've come to know it. It still needs to earn the whole love thing, though. But this movie starts out with our two main characters explaining to us that monsters still can't get into college because racism still kinda exists. Like, it's mostly gone, but there are still little dashes of racism here and there. But they say if a zombie can win the football game tonight, they'll be the first zombie to be allowed to go to college. Okay, why are all of the laws in this universe centered around racism, football, or cheerleading? It's kinda odd the infatuation that they have with these three things specifically, but the animated sequence ends with what appears to be a UFO crashing to the ground, and we're introduced to our first character. This is Zed, played by Milo Manheim. He's an energetic zombie who ended racism in the first movie and again in the second movie, and he also really likes football. Next, we're introduced to Coach, played by Jonathan Langdon. That is his legal name as far as all three movies have let us know. Hopefully they decide to actually use him in this movie because he did nothing of note in Zombies 2 at all. Now that Zed can safely control his zombie strength, he zombies out to practice for the game later that night. Wait a second, RuPaul is in this movie? How the did they get RuPaul for this movie? This is Zed's younger sister, Zoe, played by Kingston Foster. I forget that kids actually age, but she grew up a lot more between Zombies 2 and 3 than Zombies 1 and 2. But all of these movies were filmed and released almost exactly 2 years apart from each other. Zoe is mostly just here for moral support, don't get too used to her. Up next is Addison, the cheer captain at Seabrook High School, played by Meg Donnelly. She faces so much discrimination and oppression because of her filthy white hair. These two are Bonzo and Bree, played by James Godfrey and Carla Jeffrey. They're best friends to Zed and Addison. They have like a combined 30 lines across all of these movies, 4 of which contribute to the plot and 3 of which contribute to the conversations that they're a part of. This is Willa, played by Chandler Kinney. She's the fearless leader of the Wolf Clan. Jesus Christ, did that really just come out of my mouth? And this is Wyatt, played by Pierce Joza, the brother of the fearless leader of the Wolf Clan. God damn it, I did it again. Their moonstones, which literally keep them alive, mind you, are acting up. But Wyatt says to ignore it and cheer on the football game because they benefit from the zombies going to college as well. Quick side note, why does this game matter for this reason? Like, is Zed gonna get a scholarship? If so, wouldn't that mean they could already go to college, like, legally speaking? It would just mean that he couldn't afford it before. That aside, this is Eliza Zombie, who I guess is banished to the Shadow Realm for this movie. She got a job at the company that makes Z-Bands, but that's a really lame way to write her out and relegate her to an iPad for this movie. Hey, this is post-production key. She was pregnant. She was pregnant and showing. So that's why she's only shown from the neck up. Apparently there's a scene where you can see it. I couldn't find it, but yep. Kind of feel like a dick now, but we ball. We ball. Our next character is Bucky, the school president. He hates when things change, mostly things that zombies are involved in. Or at least until the movie ends, because at that point he becomes an ally until the next movie. Seriously, they managed to get this character down to a formula. Bucky goes and talks to the Spectrum Squad, who let him know that Addison has put together a national cheer-off. But the important details are spared for now as the football team makes their way to the field. This is Winter, played by Ariel Martin. She is a living cringe machine.
Bad wolf, bad wolf.
How in the hell is she on the football team? I guess it's different because she's a werewolf, but truthfully, I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. I'm currently under the impression that Zed isn't allowed to zombie out during football because that would be wildly unfair. So I assume the same thing would apply to a werewolf. And if that isn't the case, well, she's only like 5 feet tall, so she's gonna get murdered pretty quickly. Or what happens if her moonstone messes up like Zed's Z-Band and she just kills someone? This is Zed's father, Zevin, played by Tony Napo. He's worried that these recruiters won't pick up Zed to go to college since they haven't ever been around monsters before. Supposedly, ever since the werewolves have recovered the moonstones, meteor showers have become quite commonplace for Seabrook. But you know what hasn't become commonplace? UFOs. Which is what shows up here. Just a UFO. This is where we get the first song of the movie, adequately and accurately titled Alien Invasion. Because there is an alien invasion happening. Once again, it kind of suffers from weird-ass lyric syndrome. There is a bar here where the characters literally just say, it's kind of scary though, but it's kind of cool. Addison says she doesn't know what it's there for, so she wants to check it out, but after nearly getting killed, she skedaddles pretty quickly. Cause she's stupid, but she's not that stupid. The aliens land and they tell the audience that they come in peace and they merely crash landed on Earth. I say that the aliens say this to the audience because there's no one here. Literally, they just walk away when they're done singing and dancing because no one is around to even see and or hear it. Also, this guy looks like Ninja. This is the dumbest way that I've ever heard a movie give lore to the audience.
Source the scout ship.
Precisely what I was thinking.
Yeah, we know, Ellie, because we can read each other's minds.
Literally the least creative writing I have ever heard. This thing tells the aliens that Earth is the perfect planet for aliens to live, but they need to find the most precious thing in Seabrook. Wow, that is wildly vague. It's probably gonna be like true love or some shit. Personally, my money is on the most precious thing being a person, probably Addison. The people start to have a dance-off with the aliens because that is the only way that conflict ever gets solved in this universe. Well, that and football games, and cheerleading. Sometimes more than one of those will happen at the same time. These guys just need a better plan of attack though. After finding a flyer, the aliens say that they want to participate in the cheer cup in an effort to stay on Earth without causing any harm to the humans. Oh my god, I needed alcohol, not Dr. Pepper. Jesus Christ. But for the first time in the series, the police actually do their f***ing job for once and arrest the aliens upon arrival. After the aliens are split up, they're put under surveillance by the mayor, her husband, the principal of the school, and 2 football players? What the hell? Why are these guys interrogating alien invaders? I get this is a universe where werewolves and zombies exist, but aliens is a whole new ballgame for all of these people. Zed and Bonzo interview Aspen, played by Terry Hu, an alien who is notable for being the first non-binary character in a zombies movie, #represent. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, this is Disney's first ever non-binary character, and I would like nothing more than just a chance, please, just a chance, please. Zed tells Aspen that because of them, he can't get into college anymore. But Aspen downloads some information with their alien bullshit and lets Zed know that he can still get in through applications. Which just proves that zombies could have gotten into college before. There was no laws against it, they just never applied. In this scene, we also learn that aliens tend to suppress their emotions because the aliens are a telepathic species and it makes their emotions more hard to deal with. Oh, also, yeah, this does mean that Aspen has blue hair and pronouns. I've made that joke 3 times before, but this time it actually happens. Aspen turns off their emotional suppressors because they want to know what emotions feel like. That sounds like a terrible idea. But seriously, I don't have enough mental energy to really question this right now. There are 70 more minutes of this, and I already feel like I've lost more brain cells than I even knew I had. Because this is what they do in the Zombies movies, the aliens are starting school at Seabrook the next day. Their names are Alan, played by Matt Cornett, and Allie, played by Kyra Tantau. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's also the Mothership, played by RuPaul goddamn Charles. How did this happen? In the next scene, Addison does the same thing she always does and begins to froth at the mouth over the new race that has appeared in Seabrook. After fantasizing about the next culture she'll be appropriating, we get a song titled Ain't No Doubt About It, which is where our main characters sing about how everything is going to work out for them. And Zed and Addison nearly get themselves killed like 3 times. But this song is as good as the choreography is unsafe, and it's a straight up banger. The aliens also flashbang the wolves here, but I'm not exactly sure what they did, and they don't even question it either. Also, Bucky drops the hard R here.
You can't help those invaders.
Like, dude, he held that. Willa is worried because the last time Seabrook had invaders, the werewolves lost the Moonstone and were forced into hiding for 400 years. It's kind of funny that she says that to Addison, one of the direct benefactors of that. Eliza also builds this weird-ass fucking robot that reminds me of Henry Fondle from BoJack Horseman. Eliza tries to figure out how Zed can get a model student scholarship, which shouldn't be hard. Well, if it weren't for all those alien invaders that came in and took all their jobs and houses. Hey, I'm gonna do the thing now where I point out the very obvious and concerning parallels between this movie and real life now. Okay? Yeah, cool. For those of you who don't major in sociology, haven't been on the internet, or just aren't very socially aware, there is this terrible stereotype that America places on its immigrants very often. It's called model minorities, and it tends to apply to Asian people. Which, hey, look at that, 2 of the 3 alien people are Asians. Post-production key here. I wrote in my script Asian, and for some reason did not think about it even when I was reading it, but Kyra Tantau is not Asian, she is Puerto Rican. However, everything I say is still pretty accurate in terms of what I'm about to mention when it comes to model minorities and the way America treats its minorities. Just keep in mind that Kyra Tantau is not in fact Asian. These aliens are harder workers and considerably smarter than zombies. And the one who isn't Asian is a model athlete, so that's funny. And I was actually going to not mention any of this had Zed not said, "Why don't you just go back to your own planet?" This causes Aspen to cry. So yeah, this movie is a thinly veiled message about immigration now. Fantastic, God. During the next scene, Zed learns about the alien technology that allows them to see what others see and magically manipulate technology from miles away. Aspen asks about the Moonstone, and Zed says it's the most precious thing in Seabrook. Like, he says that verbatim. In exchange for that information, the aliens help him out and get him into college. In this next scene, Aspen describes that they have feelings for someone and tells the group that it's a zombie. Bree immediately assumes that Aspen is referring to Bonzo and quickly tries to throw hands. And that is another reminder of why I love Bree, even though she doesn't matter at all. But Aspen says that they actually have feelings for Zed. And I think it's really adorable that she actually tries to make a friendship with Addison over this. Although Addison, of course, puts a quick stop to that. The aliens go to cheer practice, but relatively speaking, nothing that they're doing in and of itself is actually that impressive. Like, don't get me wrong, they have the ability to float, but that doesn't require actual skill and or talent. They would be a great addition to the team, but I can't say this is anything more or less impressive than we've seen in Zombies 1 or 2. But the revelation that Addison isn't the best anymore brings out her selfish tendencies, and she decides that they need to beat the aliens in their final cheer competition. That night, the aliens jump the security guard in an attempt to gain access to the Moonstone. But Aspen learns that even though the Moonstone can control the map's coordinates, the coordinates aren't hidden in the Moonstone.
What the does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
You're welcome.
What the is he talking about?
Although after the aliens hear someone coming, they need to make a quick exit, and I actually with how petty the Mothership is.
Someone's coming. Mothership, beam us up now.
Mothership, beam us up. You'll stay down there until you learn some manners.
But then the aliens learn that someone has taken down the force field and left behind Froyo. This is where we get our next song titled Come On Out, where the werewolves try to hunt down Aspen, Allie, and Alan. That was a bit much, don't you think? Like, bro, you could have just looked through the window. But I give the song a solid 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good. But Allie then asked the mothership to please beam them back up to the ship, which kind of means that this song and nothing that happened during it really mattered. But for some reason, Addison is beamed up as well. She walks around the ship and runs into Zed, making sure to punch him because he's unfortunately still black. Also, before you get mad at me for making that joke 3 times, remember that Addison punched Zed 3 times. They were being unoriginal first. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this joke also made me laugh.
Aspen asked if I could help with my knowledge of Seabrook.
Poor thing, they're trying to spend alone time with you.
I do have universal appeal.
Hey.
I appreciate a good mid-conversation fourth wall break, and I also think it's very funny because it's not something that the movie canonically does outside of like their little exposition breaks. Aspen breaks up with Zed in this scene, so that's also kind of funny, and it certainly didn't last very long either. This also never has any effect on anything and does not come back in any significant way. It was just something they wrote for some reason. The aliens tell Addison and Zed that they're looking for a new planet to live on, but because their ship is broken, they can't get to one. But Zed hits it moderately hard and it just starts working again.
That's highly sensitive cosmic tech you can't just bang. Ow! Oh, that seems to have worked.
I can't be mad at that. I will laugh at it, but I will not be happy about laughing at it. This is my favorite 5 minutes in the entire Zombies franchise. There was not a single joke that did not land. Okay guys, I'm going to explain to you exactly what the f is happening in the simplest terms possible in an attempt to not drive myself insane. This alien scout is Addison's grandmother. She loves cheerleading and she made the cheerleading cup. Cheerleading is genetic, I guess. Addison is a quarter alien because her mother is half alien. Good, are we all on the same page? Too bad, because I don't want to keep talking about this. By the way, the movie only ever calls them alien. They don't have a specific name for the race. Aspen gives Addison her grandmother's scouter, but because Addison doesn't have the spark, which just means she doesn't have stardust into her bloodstream, no, I'm not making that up, so she can't use alien technology, telepathy, or even survive space travel. This greatly upsets her, and she runs off. After Addison and Zed run off, Allie learns that the cheer cup contains materials from their home world. What this specifically means is ultimately unclear, but that seems to be a theme of the movie at this point, so I won't question it any further if you don't. The next day, all of the zombies and werewolves are getting Zed ready for his interview, and he begins to freak out, which leads into our next song, which is probably my favorite in the entire movie, titled Exceptional Zed. This song is a lot of fun, because pretty much every character is in it, it's peppy, it's upbeat, and it breaks the fourth wall. And they just sing what they're thinking, and I think it's funny because they're saying things that actual people would say. They're having conversations in song, and I love it. And it once again reinforces what I said in the Zombies 1 video, that Milo Manheim is much better at pop than he is hip-hop. I give this song a 9.5 out of 10. That extra half point is because not every goddamn song needs a beat switch / break where they sing in a soft tone. Songs can just be upbeat through the whole thing, you know. But the interview begins and Addison begins to spark Zed, because she has her alien powers out of nowhere. Seriously, why did this just now randomly start? Also, why does she keep touching him? This part also makes Zed sound like Frank Castle in that one scene of The Punisher. Wait. After scaring off the interviewer, he begins to serenade the interviewer with a reprise of the song we just heard. Because the song is literally 43 seconds long, I'm not gonna rate it, and it will not be entering the HiKeiLoKei DCOM Music Hall of Fame. In this really short scene, Addison pieces together that the aliens hid the map to Utopia in the Seabrook cup because the alien language is on the cup. Bucky finds this piece of alien tech, and Eliza and the werewolves help him hack into it, where they learn that the aliens have been probing everyone's minds. There's also this plotline in the movie where Wyatt has a crush on Eliza, and it comes to fruition here. I didn't bother to mention it because every scene where it's mentioned, including this one, is either 30 seconds or shorter, and it's not integral to the plot of the movie. The important part of the scene is that they find out the aliens have been lying to them about the reason for being on Earth. Zed also takes this phone call where he learns that he has been accepted into Mountain College, but at the same time, the ops show up to capture the aliens. So the aliens have to leave and hope that Addison will win the cheer cup for them. After Addison learns that the aliens have been disqualified, she breaks into song. This is the 6th track of the movie, titled I'm Finally Me. It's far from terrible, but it's the song we get in every movie where Addison sings about finding herself. And I don't really care about it because you've heard and seen this song and dance twice before. Literally. Thematically and tonally, I'm just tired of this. My personal gripes aside, I think it's a really good song. Probably the most poppy pop song we've gotten in all 3 movies. It's a good song, I actually do like it, I'm just jaded. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. But also, this happens? Is this CGI? They immediately announce that the Mighty Shrimp have won the cheer cup. It has been 8 seconds, maybe try deliberating some more. But after the celebration, the werewolves run out and denounce the aliens. Willis says this verbatim: "The aliens are liars and they've come to take what's ours. We should have never let Addison welcome in those outsiders." And if that sounds familiar, it's probably because it's what your racist uncle said last Thanksgiving that made your whole family moderately uncomfortable. But the aliens, Addison and Zed, attempt to escape with the Seabrook cup. The werewolves use their moonstones to thwart the escape of the aliens. Seriously, these things win plot device of the year. What don't they do? This almost starts a very physical altercation before Addison tells everyone to calm the down. And she tells everyone that she's part alien. And she gets a cool costume change and her hair turns blue, which is kinda cool. Addison's mom tells Addison that she's always known, but she thought it would be better to keep it a secret. Primarily because the plot required it. But also because everyone in Seabrook is vehemently racist and hates diversity and inclusivity. But she says that Addison's grandmother used to call her the most precious thing. And it turns out that Addison is the coordinates. Jesus Christ. Firstly, that's ridiculous. The coordinates were in her DNA? Like, just because we saw it coming doesn't make the reveal any less stupid. And secondly, why did the grandmother need to put this into some cryptic message? You couldn't have just said, "Yo, go find my granddaughter, she's got the coordinates pumping through her." Like, come on, this is ridiculous. The aliens then explain that because the coordinates are dynamic, Addison will need to go with the aliens and they'll have to constantly be deciphering the coordinates to travel through space. Oh my god, dude, just for once, try making something in this movie, try to make it make sense. Okay? Take something and then think about it before you put it on the page so that when you watch the movie, it makes sense. Addison's mom also takes her weave off and they do the quick camera change that they did in the first movie, and I think that's funny. Everyone gives Addison a goodbye, but just when the RuPaul mobile is about to shut down due to the reactor being harmed by the werewolves show up with the moonstone to give the spaceship an infinite source of energy. But because the moonstone energy is harmful to aliens, Eliza is going to have to help them filter it through the Z-bands to— oh my god, are you serious?
Wyatt,
Yeah?
I like you too.
I can't take it anymore. I can't. Why is this the time for this? They transport everyone onto the mothership and these two have romantic tension now for literally no reason. You can't just give characters romance like this, especially if there's not a sequel to the movie. But for some reason, they need a human conduit to adapt the power source. Shut up. You can't just say random shit and expect it to make sense. I am actually going batshit insane right now. But they manage to charge the mothership and everyone takes their leave and Zed and Addison share one last goodbye. And the ship takes off. And I bet you $300 the ship directs them back to Earth anyway because it's like the most compatible planet or some. There's actually another reprise of Someday here and the entire cast of the movie sings it. I actually like it, but the song was written as a duet. It feels weird to hear other people sing it. Like, I like the lyrics, but it makes no real sense to have anyone besides Addison and Zed be the two people singing it. I should have bought the Jack Daniels Coke instead. The next day at school, the students are getting ready to attend their graduation, thinking about how they've all come together because of Addison. Aspen asks the question that I did like 5 minutes ago, and we get the vaguest, unexplanatory answer that the movie could possibly give us.
Why didn't your grandmother just tell us that you were the map? Why make our search so difficult?
Maybe she thought there was something to learn by staying in Seabrook for a while.
We get to watch Addison's mind scan about how being in Seabrook was good and fun and dandy because racism actually made them stronger. Also, yeah, I called it. They stay on Earth because humans are good or something. Don't look at me for the answer, dude. I just ordered a bottle of vodka on Amazon and I'm still waiting for it to arrive. Everyone has their goodbyes and they're still talking about Addison. Dude, that was literally yesterday. Get over it. Oh, and Addison comes back anyway, so. And after Addison comes back, they all celebrate their differences and whatnot, or whatever they do at the end of all these movies. So now that the they-them aliens are integrating into society, what's next? Zer vampires? She-him trans mermaids? Where does the madness end? Thank God the movie's almost over and we get our last song titled Nothing But Love. Good song, but there is nothing to comment on here because this is the same thing that happened in Zombies 1 and 2. Well, except for the fact that this movie manifested a fake romance between Aspen and Willa. Seriously, stop doing that! You can't just be like, you two are in love now. They didn't have a single line of dialogue between them. The song is a 7 out of 10 though. The series also canonically ends with Bucky hijacking the mothership and bringing cheer to outer space. So that's funny and I hope we get a Disney Plus spinoff about him. But this movie was terrible and I need to scream now. If you'll excuse me. It's time for everyone's favorite segment.
What's wrong?
What's
wrong with this?
You guys know what this segment is. I explain what's wrong with the movie and you guys do nothing. This is a video. They are not interactive. But on this episode, we have Immigration. The entire movie is themed around aliens. For those of you Apex Legends players in the crowd who aren't socially aware enough to understand exactly what that means, let me explain. The definition of alien, according to Webster's dictionary, is relating, belonging, or owning allegiance to another country or government. It is a word used to describe immigrants in many cases. So this is f***ed up because they're literally f***ing aliens. There is no goddamn nuance anymore. These guys are literally just illegal aliens. But no one cares because they're model minorities and they make the community better. It's just a giant metaphor for how Asian people are treated. And I also think it's funny that they say things like, go back to where you came from, which is something that Southern white people tend to say to Mexican-American immigrants who cross the border either illegally or legally in many cases. Personally, I've never had this said to me, but I know people my age who are first-generation immigrants who get told to go back where you came from, even though they have no accent or speak English fluently. Or even better, the person who said it has no idea where they even came from. Now, I'm gonna leave it there because I think I've made my point and I'm not entirely sure it's my space to really speak on this, but like always, please feel free to talk about it more in the comments because there's plenty more to talk about, I'm sure. I just wanted to get you guys kind of going on where I'm coming from with this. Oh, also, f*** Addison, for the last time. I'm glad her story arc finally came to an end, but oh my god, she was so f***ing annoying. 3 movies about her just crying about everything wrong in her life. But she was more tolerable in this movie because she was actually part alien, no matter how ridiculous that plot twist was. The aliens are more interesting than the werewolves in my opinion. The werewolves didn't have real personalities to me. I mean, they do, just not really interesting ones. Like, Winter was just a furry, Willow was mad at everything around her, Wyatt was normal. He was just a guy. But the aliens talk weird and Allie has some serious anger issues, and I think that's quite humorous. Wait, is that a thing about them being minorities? God damn it! The music in Zombies 2 was better, but the music in this movie was still leagues more fun. But the songs in this movie actually do the exact thing that I said the songs in Zombies 2 don't, and that's that the songs actually move the story forward. In the song Alien Invasion, they're confronting the alien invasion, and they're actually moving the plot forward when they do it. Exceptional Zed isn't just a funny song, but a song about how Zed has grown and changed the world around him. So I like that they were able to create some more entertaining songs. Other than that, everything is still the same as the last 2 movies, so I have nothing else to really talk about. So rounding out the zombie series, I'm giving the 3rd and final entry a 5 out of 10 on the critical score. It faces the same exact problems as the first 2. That's all I really have to say. Actually, that's all I really want to say. I am so tired of these movies. For the fun score, I do want to give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you want to turn this movie on and turn your brain off and watch it with some friends, it is a blast and some of the humor is genuinely good, believe it or not. But I gave this such a high fun score because the songs are really good. They are so enjoyable to listen to. I would be lying if I said I didn't listen to Alien Invasion in the shower after watching the movie. That's not a joke, I actually did. Same with Exceptional Zed. Anyway, as usual, check out the socials and join the Discord. Also, here's some cool fan art I got. I wanted to have a spot for it. I didn't have like a canned segue into this, but here's cool fan art. I don't know who I'm gonna put up yet. So here's the cool fan artist name. Woo! do, no, all jokes aside, do go follow these people on their socials. They make some amazing art. And if you have art you want to send to me, either send it on Instagram, Twitter, or Discord, and I will feature it. Just make sure you give me a place to credit you, either with an @ or a URL, so I can put the credit where it needs to go, because I'm not trying to steal your art. I don't know why I would. But me and Kennedy need to go deep fry about 20 pounds of chicken for... What are we doing that for? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try not to question that. You guys have a good week. Seriously, dude, do I need to call a priest again?